What's good? It's Durag Diaries first episode. You already know we had to do it right. Had to get the North London derby, run it up, the preview for this weekend. Sorry, I forgot to change that back because there's certain guys that belong below us. We already know it. It's us man have streamed together already. It's Mr. Durag Diaries yourself, George. Got the Durag strapped in and prepared for this weekend. It's gonna be a big one, man. Today I'm joined by two very special guests, man. Two guys whose shows I've done many shows with. You guys have definitely recognized them. But first of all, I have to introduce my Tottenham compatriot in Ash, Spurs King TV. How's it going, my bro?
Yes, my broski, my killie, done know the thing already. First show, up in here, ready to give energy, NLD. What a time to start, my broski. What a time to start. And I'm glad that we're here together to talk about all things North London derbies and talk about this one below us. Halftime hooks. Big up the man, then big up the chat each and every time. Love.
100%, man. Done too many streams with hooks this summer. And you know what? I couldn't wait for this one because he's been talking a lot of, all summer we was hearing all this smoke. And I was like, do you know what? We've got this game, home game, 4 games into the season. So my brother Hooks, how you doing, my bro?
Bro, it's Friday, man. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to the game. Do you know what? Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, this game is for the culture. Yeah, this game is for the community. This game is for the streets. Yeah, you know, because there's bare man that we all stream with. Yeah, them man that support Manchester United. Them man that support Liverpool. But really and truly, them man know Arsenal versus Spurs is the thing. You get me? And as you all know, yeah, you man, you're old enough. You're very familiar. With this derby, yeah. Usually, yeah, we smoke you, yeah. So obviously, it's going to be more smoke sets, and what a wonderful time to start your channel because you're starting on an L. So yeah, man, strap in. Yeah, that do-rag looks super tight. Might be cutting off some blood to the brain. Yeah, you get me. Let's see what I go on, man. Happy to be here.
Super duper tight. You already know where it is. But like you said, it's a perfect weekend to start. And let's just go straight into it. Team news, as we spoke in the background. Tottenham, let's speak about them, Ash, because we've had the confirmation. Van der Ven's back. He's been in training all last week. So it seems like he's going to be prepared for this weekend. Everyone's talking about that hamstring being on cheese. Nah, bro, mature cheddar, that thing rock. He's going to be ready for this weekend. I'm telling you right now. And then we've got Solanke. He's been back in training. He didn't say that he's been training all week. So he's definitely been back. But I don't know if he's going to be prepared for 90 minutes. That's another question. And then we heard that Basuma, he's one that we're going to be monitoring. So he's not confirmed back, but he's not ruled out for the game either. How does that make you feel, Ashman?
Listen. I was moving a bit shaky. Then the sun come out. I woke up. I said, "Rah, hold on. Mickey Van der Ven, that is crucial to that high line that everyone's talking about. Everyone's saying, Spurs play a chaotic football. We know when we got Mickey, yeah, the fastest man in the league. Yeah, I'm saying, man's moving like flash. I said, when he was back, I said, you know what? I can breathe easy. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my one worry. Then, obviously, Dom, like our number 9, we know we be missing that kind of focal point. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to set pieces, which I'm sure we'll get into, his height, his aerial ability is one of the best, if not the best in the league. Yeah. So that's another thing I ain't got to worry too tough about because, man, we're talking about set pieces. I'm like, 2 things already. That man was saying, look, Tottenham, watch counter, watch what set piece. I said, them 2 there. Now I'm feeling a bit more confident coming into it. And every day that comes in, I'm looking at Arsenal and I'm like, boy, you know what? Let me just hold back. Let me just keep quiet. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait. So even though, your star boy Mickey, and your great number 9 Solanke is back, confirmed. You still can't come with the chest. See, this is how you know. This.
No. I'm gonna come with the chest a little bit later. He just asked a question there, so I was like, let me hold back because I don't want to do too much. I said, I'm gonna bring this more. Go on.
You see me? I think
we're gonna get into it, Hooks. We got to take time.
you
we gotta go through it, man.
you might have to walk up. I hear it.
That's
You might have to walk up. You get me? Yeah. You
But
need
no,
to try
we're
and
just getting through it. We're just going through the team news first.
Yeah,
We got the confirmations. The big boys are back. The two main
the big boys.
stars, like Ash has already said, the players that I
Okay.
needed to see back into this team because they're the ones that we missed against Newcastle the most. And let's talk about it because it wasn't just us that had some confirmed players that are supposed to be back and ones that aren't necessarily ruled out. Arsenal, as you said, Hooks. There's not been any confirmation of the team news as of yet. But Odegaard looks like he's not confirmed. He's not ruled out. Even if he gets 30 minutes, how does that make you feel?
I don't want him to play. I'll be so real. Yeah, I don't want him to play because I don't think the risk is worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we all saw what happened to him. We saw man screaming on the pitch, bro. Like he had to be carried off. Be it as it may, he was walking. It wasn't a stretcher. It still looked super mad. We all saw the photo of him on the crutches going onto the aeroplane. Like, I just don't think it's worth it. Like, yeah, maybe Arsenal's medical team might be like, oh, you know what, Mikel, you might be able to get a young 20 minutes out of him. But in those 20 minutes, in the North London derby, where let's keep it 100%, everybody's fighting for their lives. It's a straight war thing. There's no like easy tackles. Everything is 100%. Every 50-50, everyone's going in 100%. Bro, he could be written off. And then what? And then I've got to come on streams and man are laughing at me because now Erdegaard's out for 6 months. Nah, man, I'd rather not risk it, to be completely honest. But obviously outside of the Erdegaard thing, not much has really been said about Calafiori, to be completely honest. So I don't know if he's going to be in or out. And Arteta kind of, to a degree, insinuated that maybe it might be time for Wanyeri to step up and, you get me, fight for his life in the North London derby. So, yeah, man. But you know me, I'm not worried. It don't matter who we have because I'm playing you, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm not playing Liverpool. I'm not playing Manchester City. You get me? I'm playing Tottenham.
Do you see what top I got on, yeah? Because you keep doing this, you, man. I had to throw it back today. Old school. 08 heritage. Because all week, all I've heard about the last time you won a trophy. Yes, this is the shirt that we wore. I'm telling you. And this is how I'm feeling. These are the times you don't get wins at White Hart Lane. And we're going to make you feel the pressure. You see how we got the 2v1 right now? We're going in on you. We're going to be catching up. We're making you feel the pressure from now. When you guys walk down the road, we already know what it's like. Just to walk down to that stadium, that one long walk from Seven Sisters Station, you feel the pressure. Last time I went to the North London derby, I saw the Ashburton Army boys. They were surrounded by about 1,000 police officers because that's what they felt. The fears get puts into your life just walking down. And the Arsenal players, they're going to feel it. They're going to come out the tunnel. They're going to see the stadium, 55,000 Tottenham fans. Ready, pumped, and like Maddison has said in his team and in the interviews leading up into the game, he's ready for this. The players are ready for this. They know what it means to get the win this weekend. They cannot allow us to lose 2 games in a row. So I know going into this game, with the boost that we've had, and with, as you said, no Odegaard, I'm feeling very confident. And I don't even see a route of Tottenham losing. That's the thing. Let's actually talk about the game. Yeah, let's get into some tactical talk because it's all fun, messing around saying all these things. But look, we already know Arsenal missing their key midfield. They're missing their 2 main players, their 2 best players from last season. How's that going to impact the game? Let's talk about Hooks. You tell me, how's that going to impact the way that you guys play and the result?
You say our 2 best players from last season. Our best player from last season, arguably Saka, he's still there, bro.
And he was not your best player last season. Don't do that.
Right, don't do that. One of our best players, he was better than Rice. Erdegaard is a flip of a coin.
Was Rice not your most consistent performer?
Yeah, I thought he was.
He was our most consistent performer across the season, and he had an amazing season. Don't get me wrong, he had a great for a debut season. It was amazing, isn't it? But I'm looking at Saka, and I'm like, specifically for a North London derby, he loves to make an impact in these games. He loves to score against Tottenham, and on top of that, we've got another brother who's recently come to North London who also likes a goal against Tottenham as well. So yeah, be it as it may, I can concede that maybe you man might. I say might because we won't know until the ball's kicked. Have the better midfield for the game, But when it comes to everywhere else, we win in all those departments. And it's quite weird that Spurs fans big up their midfield because you man, it's not really about the midfield for you, man, innit? It's not really about the midfield. Like you, man, all you're going to be doing is trying to be in our our half of the pitch, high up, yeah, with all of your forwards trying to lick off shots, all of them gonna miss, and then you're just gonna be susceptible to the break. And you know, it's not. We're not slow. This is the thing, yeah. I watched, and I know you man watched as well. Newcastle completely pick you apart when you were trying to do this domination in the location thing that Deadly likes to go on about. Yeah, you man got picked apart. Do you man honestly think that Arsenal can't do that? Do you man really think that if Newcastle can do that to you, you don't think Arsenal can do that to you?
Respectfully, my broski.
Do you know why that's? I was actually gonna go on. Ash, you take this one.
I saw what happened with Villa. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, we won.
Yeah. Obviously, Villa didn't take their chances. I hear it. But the way you saying you've got legs in the midfield, I'm not too sure, bro, my brother. I'm looking at Partey. He got kind of run amok by a certain Rodgers.
But you don't have a Rodgers. You don't have a Rodgers, bro.
I don't know. Kulu for me, Kulu on that ball, does ball carrying. People laugh, but watch, yeah. Because the last game I saw Kulu on that ball, he was causing problems from the right. But now we put him in the midfield. I'm saying, my brother, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on this brother. Because I think our physicality and our pace and the way we rush your attack, I think Jorginho, Partey, if you go with them two off the ball, their lateral movement, their recovery runs, I'm not too sure. I would be worried if I was an Arsenal fan. Do you know what I'm saying? Havertz, drop him back in the midfield. If he does, I know a lot of Arsenal fans aren't confident with him playing in that number 10 role. So he must have to come up with a different solution. So there's a couple of things I'm thinking there's a couple of things with Havertz.
Yeah, Havertz, is
I'm saying
one of our best pressers, to be honest.
What I'm saying in the midfield, though, Havertz in the midfield, I don't know, like off the ball with Jorginho and Partey, there's a couple question marks. I can't lie. Do you know what I'm saying? Compared to our midfield, we've got like the best turnovers in the league. Do you know what I'm saying? What's the turnover? We win that ball back after 6 passes. I think we're the best team that wins that ball back high up that pitch, close to that goal mouth. I don't know if it's
second best.
You man with 9. You man with 9.
So
that's with Rice. Oh, but listen, that's with Rice, and that's with
Yeah,
you're listening. So it's like what we do there. But I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna lie, that midfield battle for me is kind of crucial. Do you risk us having all that possession and bank on us missing our chances? I don't know. What one point it's gonna click, and I'm hoping we don't unload. Well, I am hoping we do unload on you.
And do you know what it is with that, Ash? Yeah, because there's one thing that hooks. We was on stream the past couple of days, and one thing he continued to mention was we conceded more goals than Arsenal. We've conceded more goals than Arsenal. How about their defense has been so much better? But you know, if you actually look into it, I looked into the stats a bit further today because I wanted to see, because I looked at us and I was thinking our defense actually hasn't been bad. The goals we've conceded have just been mistakes at the back line where it's just easily defendable. Tottenham has been one of the better teams defensively this season, as in we've conceded one of the least amount of shots on target, less than Arsenal, by the way. We've conceded the least amount of good big chances, less than Arsenal, where we're up there with the likes of Liverpool and City. So I don't know where this narrative is that Arsenal's defense has been so rock solid this year. We've looked at it and we saw Aston Villa break through. We saw Brighton break through time and time again. Maybe Wolves, I think Wolves, you had a good game. I think you.
It's just lagging for me. Or is it?
You're lagging. You're lagging still.
That game.
Hey, George, bro, you're lagging a bit still.
Yeah, you're lagging.
But when I look at times, so we're gonna find the gaps and holes in that defense, especially when you got mad.
Do you know what? Yeah. But by the way, I don't know if you know, but you was lagging a bit in it. But I kind of get what you were saying in it. But the thing is for me, yeah, like those chances that we conceded, yeah, we conceded those chances playing in a way that we're not gonna play against Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Like we conceded those chances because we was open. So because we had the likes of Erdegaard and Rice playing, we play in a different way. But now they're not going to be playing. I expect us to play in a different way. I don't expect us to play tactically the same with Rice and Erdegaard not there, because Rice and Erdegaard are two very important players to the way that we play. So I wouldn't actually be surprised if we go, do you know what? You know what? Cool. You man can dominate the midfield. Have the midfield. It's fine, innit? We'll just set up in a way where we just play on the break. We play in transition, and that's what I think that's what I think we will do. Although I wouldn't like to see us do it, because I still think with the players that we have, we can play ball and we can try and impose ourselves at your ground. I think that Arteta might just go, you know what? Let's ride out the first 30 to 45 minutes, see how the first half goes, just soak up the pressure. That we're defensively good enough to do that, and put the onus on you, because the onus is not on us. The pressure is not on Arsenal. The pressure is on Spurs, because as you man like to remind me, yeah, you played one of the best football this year. You've controlled your games. You have all of your star players. You know, we're at your ground. Arsenal don't have Rice or Erdegaard. The pressure isn't on us. The pressure is on you. The only pressure that we have,
the pressure
the
is
only
on
pressure
you.
we have.
On the new contract, my broski.
Yeah,
So
that's all. That's all.
listen, you man don't win going into City game. Come on,
Yeah, it's long. It is long. But that's the only pressure we have. The only pressure that we have is if we drop points, yeah, it damages our title charge. Early on, it damages our title charge.
That's the thing, though. You have the outside pressure. We don't. The pressure's all internal.
No, you do.
The pressure's all from our fan base. I'm putting the pressure on my team because I need to see our team turn up. Like I said, it's a big game for us. We cannot lose 3 times in a row. We need the points. And like I said, Arsenal missing two. Like they could be missing 2 of the best players. So we have to. Like I'm putting the pressure on the team and say if we don't turn up this weekend, I'm gonna be fuming. We must turn up, but. Arsenal, like I said, this impacts your season if you lose. Going into the Etihad game, you could be, 6 points off of the top? Like that. No, you're already 2. If you lose, you'll be 5. And if you lose again, you'll be 8 points off top. That's not season done, but it's a lot to call back and this early on in the year. So
the narratives will be crazy, bro. You know that.
Yeah, the narrative.
Sports, YouTube channels, you name it, socials. Fans are really getting nervous. I got besties saying, "Raw, you know what? I'm not too sure about this game, you know. I'll be real with you. Going into this game, I'm not 100%. So, you know, like a little crack, a little bit of doubt, then, yeah, it's going to start murmuring. They're going to go after Edu, as you know. Yeah, I'm saying Edu is the problem because you, man, could have got more sufficient cover, I think, up top or on the wings. And you decided for a Sterling that, for me, he's past his best. You know what I'm saying? Not to say he can't do his thing, but I just think
perfect segue because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about.
It's not the same, brother. Like, you know, he's not the same Raheem, the dream. He's not the same, my brother.
I don't know, man.
Chat to us about him, Hooks. Raheem the dream, yeah. What's he bringing to this game?
Look. Yeah. Was he my first choice? No, he was not my first choice. But us as Arsenal fans, we was put in a position where deadline day, Raheem Sterling or nobody. Bro, I'm taking Raheem Sterling each and every day because it is an area that we needed some sort of upgrading. Because, I mean, let's be completely honest, Martinelli has been super dead since his injury, and Trossard only really has impact when he comes off the bench consistently. So we needed an upgrade in that left wing, and we also need someone that can cover for Saka. So me as an Arsenal fan, if you're telling me, yeah, Saka comes off and Sterling comes on, I think that's good cover. I think that's very good cover. Like, and people can say, oh, Sterling's past his best, or yada yada yada. But last season for Chelsea, he got something like 18 GA across all competitions. Bro, that's all I need. I don't need any more than that. Arsenal's a team that spreads goals around the pitch. I don't need someone who's gonna get me 30 goals. I don't need Haaland. Like, Arsenal are never gonna go get a Haaland type player. So, and Haaland in himself, he's an anomaly because who else in the Premier League does what Haaland does? Nobody. So man can't come after me for not having the Haaland when 19 teams don't have Haaland. So is Sterling enough for Tottenham? 100 million%.
No,
Bro, if if you man signed
What are we
Sterling,
doing here? Hooks.
he's
Sterling. We
easily
would
looking
never
for
go for Sterling. If I went for Sterling, I would have been fuming. I would have said
what?
that's a Timo Werner signing. That's when
No
that's
way,
literally
no way. He's
that's a
better than
Timo
Werner.
Werner signing when I looked at that. Of
He's
course
better
he's
than
better than
Werner.
Timo. He's better than Werner. Wait, I'm
He's
not
better than
saying
Johnson.
I'm saying I would look at it as a Werner signing because
He's
what
better
are
than
we doing?
Odegaard. He's better than Odegaard.
He's more proven than these players, but I think Odegaard will bring more to our team. He's a better Odegaard's a better dribbler than Sterling, better 1v1 player. I think Sterling scores more goals than him because he's more experienced. And at this level, like where he is on his career, he's gone through that. Sterling's done his thing, and you can't take nothing away from that. Scored over 100 goals in the Premier League. Facts. But he's
Won the
not
Premier
that player anymore. The player that he is the one that's been at Chelsea that was robbed, that was getting benched for Mudryk, getting benched for Madueke, got told that he was going to be training with the kids because he wasn't good enough. He scored goals last season, but if you actually look into it, his goals are against the bottom 5 or 6 teams. He scored like three or four goals against Luton and that, man. Like that's who that's his level now. I'm not saying that he's not gonna give you guys goals here or there, but against us, against Tottenham, against Pedro Porro, who's been one of the, I'd say one of the better right backs of this season. He's been one of the better right backs. I think he's defensively, the only reason he's a bit shaky at times is his positioning. I think he gets a bit too gung-ho. He loves to run forward and he finds himself in the middle third far too much. That's one thing. But we have Romero next to him for a reason because he clamps man up. That's a real Rolls Royce defender right there. And that's why I expect to see this weekend. That's what I expect to see from him. So when Raza does get 1 or 2 chances, when he does go through, he's going to be coming up against Romero. And if he doesn't hug that byline, he's going to do nothing with the ball because that's all he can do is run to the byline and cut it back. He's got nothing else apart in his game. Let's be real now.
I remember at our stadium when Raheem came on. No, he started, sorry. And Romero put the stop on him. He said, listen, brother, you can't do that around me. And Raheem didn't like that one bit. So I know Romero, when he's ready, he said, look, he will body a man if he needs to. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I have to back that up still.
Do you know what, one thing, do you know what, we focus a lot on Arsenal, innit? And Arsenal players, and all of that. But one thing that I actually want to know, that no Tottenham fan has been able to give me, a good response, is how the hell are you scoring goals versus Arsenal? Like, if we want to go down the route of, Arsenal's defense has been dead. The only reason they haven't conceded much is because of Raya.
Cool. Goals.
Raya is in goal. So
when you not have the ball, sorry to cut you. When you don't have the ball, what will happen is you man will try to push up the pitch. I think on the counter press, that's what we can do. On the transition, I think certain times people only think Spurs do this, rush attack where we pin teams in and we pepper them. But I think when you guys grow into the game and you get a bit more confident, we can go direct. A lot of people haven't picked up on it. There was a couple of times where Maddison is doing that late run, that old school Dele Alli run, and the balls are going over the top and he's getting into them. A lot of people, Romero's doing those balls over the top. He's looking and he's finding them. A lot of people have looked past that. I think Sonny, edge of the box at times. You've seen it before. Top bins, curler. He's got that in him. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think Son can do something a little bit different. I think when we're ready, in the last game, I've noticed we're taking a lot more shots out from outside the box, a lot more. So when Arsenal were trying to do the low block, I saw Sarr taking against Newcastle shots from far. Saw Maddison take it. Even Odegaard. I know Man United rating Odegaard's end product at the moment, but even he's trying to pop off shots. Do you know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at Spurs. We've got different ways to kind of skin a cat. Do you know what I'm saying? If I got the expression right. So yeah, man, I just think Spurs in the final third, where we let ourselves down before, was our decision making. But performance wise, it's like I said before earlier, it's just gonna take one team and we're gonna unload, bro. We're gonna
how many of them shots from outside the box did that actually went in the back of the net?
Granted for that game. But I'm saying, boom, someone's gonna get it. I don't know who, but someone gonna get it. That's just one of the avenues. Just shots from outside the box is one of the avenues. Balls over the top being direct's another avenue. And then when we like to do when teams they're not defensively set up in their shape, we go down the wing, we either fire it across the box, or what we haven't been doing lately, which we can do, is the cutbacks. cutback kings. I remember Doggy is a king for cutbacks. Madison's a king for cutbacks because I remember when Madison did the cutback for Son against your defense and scored at the Emirates. So we do have that. Do you understand? Just have to remind certain man about them thing there. You get it? But go on.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. When you talk about breaking down your defense, what I generally think, and the way that we're gonna cut through, there's a few ways. I looked at Brighton last week, and I saw you always talk about Tottenham's high line and how susceptible it was. Where was Gabriel, boy? Because that line was boy high, and he didn't find no one. He was trying to get on. We all saw when Pedro was clean through what it was. So, and there was a few times. So I see us, like he said, we can catch you in the transition at times because Arsenal aren't going to sit back. You might sit back at time of the games, and we do smother teams, but your team is good enough that you're going to have periods in the game where you keep quiet possession and you're going to try to put the press on us. But I think that we're going to be able to break through that. I think we're going to be able to get out your fullbacks, especially the left side. I'm looking to see who is going to be starting on that left side. It's going to be interesting because if it's Zinni, then Older Boy is going to have a great game. I'm telling you that now.
It won't be Zinni. I can tell you for 100%, no shadow of a doubt, it will.
Who's going to be your left eight? Who would be the left eight, in your opinion?
I think it might. Okay, so who do I think will be it, or who do I want to be it? Because those are two different things.
Who do you think will be it, and then who do you want to be it?
I don't think we'll play with. I don't think we'll play with a left eight. I think we'll do a double pivot of Partey and Jorginho. This is what I think Arteta will do, and then we'll have a 10. So I guess left hand side maybe Jorginho, maybe because Partey is always on the right in it. So, but I don't know if we'll play with the way that we play with a left eight in this game, innit? Unless, yeah, for whatever reason he decides to play Partey as a solo 6, which I think would be super dangerous to do at Tottenham Stadium, considering Partey's just played 180 minutes for Ghana as well, and he's already played 3 games this season for Arsenal. I don't think that would be wise.
Well, he's getting too much Egusi soup, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think.
He needs some more.
I don't think that'd be right. Personally, I don't think that'd be. But
he's been eating those heavy meals, man. He ain't burning those calories this week.
I want to know how much minutes has Jorginho had this season?
0.
Whoa.
See, this is
what I mean.
This is what makes it. This is what makes it really. This is what makes it really hard for me as an Arsenal fan to kind of know what Arteta will do with the midfield in this game, because a lot of people just by default are saying Jorginho is going to come in to the midfield to replace Rice, but Jorginho hasn't played this season. So is Arteta going to just throw him in from the start in the North London derby, when the reason why he's probably not played is because he's just not fit anymore, man. Like, he had an injury last season that kept him out for large periods of the season, and he's just ages.
And you
just
pretty much signed his replacement, did you not? You signed someone to come in and take his position and push him further down the pecking order.
Yeah. So I would say that before the season started, you thought Partey was going to go, innit? Like, real talk, he probably thought
fans did, but I don't think that was ever the plan for Arsenal and Arteta and Edu. Because clearly,
like he said, Jorginho would not be starting games. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think what I think is I think that Arsenal wanted to sign Marino to take Partey's place in the team. This is what I think. But I think because we signed Marino so late into the window, we couldn't just go out and get rid of Partey, because we left it so late. What happens if you get rid of Partey and then Marino doesn't come in? Because Sociedad were moving stupid, especially considering Liverpool were highly linked with Zubimendi, and they was probably like, oh, we don't want to lose both. So I don't know. But Partey's contract's done this season, so he might just end up even on a free. Like, he might just go Juventus. And I don't get me wrong, like, he is probably our best progressive passer. He's probably our best progressive passer.
He hasn't been this season. When I've watched him, he doesn't even make a forward pass.
I don't know. I think that's a bit unfair, innit? Like, if anything, I say this.
You don't think he had a terrible game against Brighton, and especially against Villa? Villa was.
I think off the ball, he's had bad games, and I feel like in some periods throughout the game, he's lost the ball a bit more than he usually would. But I think that's because you know them ones when when you're aging and you're growing up and you remember back to your early 20s, yeah, you could do XYZ and you're just not accepting the fact
I
that
went ball the other day, bro. It was dark. It weren't curling. The ball weren't curling the way it used to curl. I saw him. I was like, yeah, let me make this pass. And the switch weren't switching. I was like, nah, it's time, man.
But you just don't want to accept it, right? I feel that's what's happening with Partey. He just doesn't want to accept that he can't play the same way in these difficult positions that he used to be able to, innit? And that's what's causing us some problems. So I think Partey's on his way out. So whatever he can do for us this season, please do. And then, do you know what? Hopefully we win a trophy and I can thank you and then all the best in your career, innit? But for this game specifically, I actually wouldn't be surprised if we play with the back five. Because our defense is where we are strongest in terms of quality of player and players that we have available. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if we just went, you know what, do a back five, dash Calafiori in there. You get me, get Timber on the left, have him invert in. When he inverts, Calafiori can then go out and into the left back position. You have Partey and I would go Zinchenko personally, but it may be Jorginho. They just sit there at the base of a 2, and then you just have Havertz up top who can play at the 9 and drift into the 10, and then you just have Sterling and Saka as the wingers. This
what shows me. This shows me. He asked us, "How can we score?" Shows me you're scared of our attack. You're actually cautious. Your attack. If you feel the need to go 5 at the back against a Spurs attack that you said is dead. You said Odegaard's rubbish. You said Brennan Johnson's washed. You said Timo Werner's one of the worst wingers in the league. You said Kulusevski's meh, not scared of him. So if we've got all these players that aren't so good, then why do you need to go 5 at the back? That's the question.
I'm not going 5 at the back because I'm scared of your attack. I'm going 5 at the back because all of the best players that we have available currently are defenders.
Is that not Are you not worried about that?
Of course I'm concerned if this continues for the next 5 to 8 games, but it's a scenario that we find ourselves in, and I've been on Edu.
We have a comment. This is an interesting one because I was actually going to say this because you asked about how we can score, and we scored 4 goals against your defense last year. You only scored 1 open play goal apart, and then you had 2 own goals that were given to you. You had obviously a few corners and a penalty. So how are you guys going to break through us? How are you going to break through our defense? Because clearly we've been one of the more defensively solid teams, and teams haven't been breaking through us. They've done it a few times, and we give up chances, but they haven't done it time and time again throughout the game. So what are you guys going to do to break through our line?
So how you're asking me with a straight face, how is Arsenal going to score against Tottenham?
I am, because you got no Odegaard. I've said it, no Odegaard. I don't see that line breaking. I don't see Odegaard seeing that final ball.
But you do realize that it wasn't Odegaard that assisted.
It was Havertz last year. Yeah, I remember.
And Havertz is available. So if you want to ask,
but do you remember who Saka was skinning on that left side? It wasn't Udogie. It was Ben Davies.
It was Ben Davies.
He's nowhere near the first game.
But let's be honest. Udogie hasn't looked great in these first 3 games. Let's just be complete.
He's played against Saka, and I remember him ragdolling Saka at times.
Let's be completely. Let's be honest. He hasn't been of the levels, especially for someone that got in team of the season last year.
He wasn't part of pre-season. That's why.
But the thing is, but I get back to the original question: how are Arsenal going to score? This is how I think Arsenal score from open play against Tottenham. You, man, are going to be camped in our half. It's that simple. It's actually that simple. All we need is pacey wingers on either side, which we have, Saka and Sterling, or Saka and Martinelli, and Havertz, or if it is If it is Jorginho and Partey that plays, they are Arsenal's 2 best progressive passers. There's nobody in Arsenal that plays more or better line breaking passes than Jorginho and Partey. So when you man are all camped in, Jorginho gets that ball. Oh, Saka. Oh, what? you're free, safe, line breaking pass. Or Partey gets the ball. Oh, what Sterling, Martinelli, you're free. Oh, line breaking pass, and then me, and then it's like, do you know what I mean?
Really say
It's like
Martinelli? Did you really say Martinelli? Because all that
Martinelli or
guy
Sterling.
can do is run. He's that guy's an athlete. Yeah, you're right. He's fast. He's an athlete. He's not a footballer, bro.
Yeah.
He's an sprinter. That's what we call. We've got one in our team. We got Andrew's son, Brennan Johnson. It's another sprinter, bro. That's all these guys are. They just run. They ain't got nothing else about them.
I hear that, but it's more about you asking me how do we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we score against you. Whether we end up converting the chance is a different story, but that's how the chance gets created, isn't it? And that's going to happen a lot of times in this game. It's going to happen a lot. You man are just going to have to accept it's going to happen a lot. And now, don't get me wrong, on Saka's side, it's a bit easier for you to deal with, innit? Because you have Speedy Gonzalez, innit? You have Mickey van der Ven, yeah? But on the other side, where Romero is, yeah, let's be honest, pace ain't his strongest thing. When he starts, if Sterling gets a head start or Martinelli gets a head start against Romero, you're probably going to be relying on Van der Ven covering. This is what you're probably going to be relying on. So I imagine you'll be, for the whole game, whatever line gets broken, you're going to be relying on Van der Ven to cover that. So that means you're going to have to also rely on Romero being switched on, which we've seen him have a lot of lapses in concentration this season so far, to cover the space that Van der Ven is vacating. If he does not do that, that is the easiest cross-field ball, which Martinelli can do. That's the one thing I give him. He can do that. Sterling can do that to Saka. Space, or even Havertz roaming into that space, and then Saka
as we have seen, though, I agree with your point. We're definitely susceptible to those counter attacks, and that's exactly how Newcastle scored against us on the weekend. But the way I see it is, you have to be like, it's a very thin chance. You don't get those chances many times a game. Newcastle tried it a few times. They get caught offside. The reason that it didn't work against Newcastle that time is because we had two defenders that hadn't played together. And I don't think Dragusin understood that he needed to step up, that they needed to be a bit higher for that high line. We played offside trap similar to what Unai Emery does to teams. He makes his players step up just in time before you're going to make that ball, and you're going to find your players offside. So I think that you guys will be susceptible to that. You guys may find yourselves through on goal, but you're going to get caught offside. 100% you might forget your one or two chances. That's when I look at Saka, I look at Sterling, and I say, I can give them a few chances because I know they're not going to put the ball in the back of the net every time. That's the type of players they are. They need a few chances to score. Saka's a bit more turned on. Saka's definitely, but Sterling, you might as well be a lotto ticket.
We share the same problem. Like that's why that problem.
We have one of the most clinical players in the Premier League, though, in Heung-min Son. You know, if you put him through on goal, it's more than a guaranteed empty.
Heung-min's, well, don't do that, because against Man City, when he had the easiest chance to score on planet Earth,
the one chance you would remember that
he didn't score it, innit? So
convenient.
That one, he had reasons. He had reasons.
Hey, I'm just saying, innit? I'm just saying, innit? But you know what I mean? So, look, yeah. This is arguably, at least in your new stadium, yeah. This is arguably the weakest team that we're gonna put out, arguably. But the team's not so weak that now my team is Crystal Palace.
Definitely not. I've seen Rob Holding at my stadium before. There's no way this.
No. I mean your new stadium. So since it's been.
Yeah, he played at the new stadium when we beat you 3-0. Don't you remember? We had Davinson Sanchez playing in the game too, boy.
That was 3-0.
I was there.
He didn't. But I said one of the weakest teams in it. So at least
he got a red card that game. I remember.
That he shouldn't have got. But we move. We move.
There we go.
But my team is not so weak, yeah, that it should be given. Okay, maybe you Tottenham fans, in it, because you're gonna have the bass in your chest because Arsenal versus Tottenham, in it. But the way a lot of rivals have been calling you favourites by default and all them thing there, I'm not putting out, I'm not Luton Town. Do you know what I mean? I'm not Crystal Palace. You get me? All due respect.
It might be your midfield won't be looking so far off Crystal Palace's. I'm just saying, innit, this weekend.
I don't know, because my midfield that I would play, me personally, I would go Partey, and then I would have Zinchenko in the left 8, and then I would have Gabriel Jesus in the 10. And for me, that midfield has passing ability, vision, control, and has the ability to drive, because Jesus is a very good ball carrier.
Also
Very
has
good.
no chemistry. It has two players that don't really play in those positions, so they're going to be pulled out of position and
I
sort of
don't know
just be
about the
following.
chemistry thing. I disagree on the chemistry.
First of all, questions are there for Zinny. I'm just saying.
In defense, at left back, hella questions. Hella questions.
What midfield do you think he'd be better at the defensive cover?
Do you know why I think he would be better in the midfield? Is because the reason we all know him to be dead is because of his defensive capabilities. But if you put him in the left 8 and you go to him, do you know what? Or maybe even Zinchenko in the 10. Or maybe even Zinchenko replaces Erdegaard. Who knows? But somewhere further up the pitch where you're not relied upon for defensive actions, then it's no longer a problem. The problem with Zinchenko is because he's so defensively bad, but also likes to move from left back into the midfield, he always vacates a space. So when he loses,
You know who he reminds me of? An old school Arsenal player, Matthew Flamini. Meaty ballers.
wait, you think Flamini was a meaty baller?
I think he was meaty baller, man.
I don't know,
Meaty
man. I
baller.
think he was a pretty good DM. You know, he didn't have the name. He didn't have the name.
Remember when he played left back? He also he was deputizing at left back as well, and he was getting cooked on that left side.
Yeah, man. It's but Flamini, he was indeed defensive mid. I liked him. I liked him. He's someone that we could use now. Funny enough, he's someone.
I look at Zinny versus Kulu. I look at Zinny versus Kulu in the midfield battle because I look for 1v1s, the 1v1 battles, and I'm like, I think Kulu can do him. I'm not gonna lie. If he's in the left 8 role, Kulu will be on that side, and I think Kulu will outmuscle him. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like he did Tomiyasu. So,
but you know what it is with Kulu? Do you know what it is with Kulu? Do you know what? Yeah, and this can stretch across. And do you know what? Yeah, this is why I'm very disappointed in Tottenham this season. I'm very disappointed in you, man. Yeah, because you, man, had the perfect opportunity to solidify yourselves.
I'll say it.
The Champions League, yeah, title contending team. You had the perfect opportunity. Yeah,
don't do it, man.
But again, you didn't do what you needed to do in the transfer window. Yeah, I'm sorry. Erdebert is a baller, absolute baller. Whenever I watched Burnley last season, he was playing. I was like, why the hell is this guy playing for Burnley? Yeah, but his end product is abysmal, and it's like you're doing it on purpose. Why do you keep on adding people to your front line whose end product is shambolic? It's like you don't want to score. And be it as it may, yeah, I think Ange is very stubborn. The one thing I don't like about Ange is his ability to adapt in a game. That's the one thing that I don't like. I don't think it's productive to say we're only going to play this way no matter what, because none of the best managers in the world do that. So that's the one problem I have with him. But he's your best manager in terms of the way that you play you've had for maybe since Pochettino. But then even Pochettino didn't really win you that a minute. So I think he's had you look at times looking a lot better than what I feel like if Ange had the team that Poch had, you probably would have won something, innit? But why again did you not back this guy? I don't understand.
You can say that, but you know what it is? I think this is Ange's philosophy. Actually, if you actually looked into what he said in his comments, like proceeding the transfer window, he's been happy with the players that we brought in. He explained that it's a project and that he wanted to refresh the squad and bring in a whole new bunch of young players who are a bit more impressionable, who they can pick up on his, way of playing. And he said himself, I prefer younger players. I prefer players who are younger so I can mold them into the players he wants them to become. And they're easier to, bring into the team and make that vibe. And if you look at our team from the 2 seasons ago, the first 11 and even the squad to now, we've just like you guys, we got rid of about 15, 16 players. This summer was a mass clear out, a clear out that we needed. All the bunch of these players that were on our wage book that were never playing for us, but they've just been hanging around. We've still got some of them, the likes of Sergio Reguilon, who I don't even know if he's got a place in the squad or in the team, but he's still here just hanging around. And
Wait,
we've
is he
got a
there or
few
is he on
more.
loan?
He's still there.
He's there. He hasn't been on loan. He's literally just around. I don't know what he's doing. He's training. I saw him in Pedro Porro's video the other day. He's just around, bro. I imagine he just goes to the gym, goes a couple of training sessions, and goes home. Like, but we didn't need a mass clear. So I actually think this is what Ange wanted. I think Odebert was a type of player he wanted. Maybe not the specific name, but because we've gone to that data model, he's the type and profile of what we want. And I look at the finish and I say, yeah, sometimes you get players who are naturally just good finishers. You can't, like Harry Kane, no matter what, he's just naturally got it. But there's some players who can train up their finishing from young to get to it's never going to be amazing, but it'll get to a good level. I've seen Saka's finishing get better over the years. Saka, throughout his season over season, he's got a higher goal output because his finishing is just a bit more clean. When he does that cutting off the left and he finds that left corner, he's worked on that so much that it works for him every time now. So I can see players like Odebert, players. I'm not gonna say Johnson in it because I just don't like this guy. But I think that's what Ange's fault is in Johnson. He thinks he can do that, but no, with Odebert, I think he can improve. Werner, that's a lost cause, and then the rest of them are pretty decent. Kulu just needs to shoot more. Son is already, in front of goal. Is one of the best you can get in the Premier League. So I think the problems will show themselves up. Solanke, I do think he's a bit questionable in front of goal, but I don't think at Tottenham he'll get more chances, so we'll get to see it more often. We just need to see him play and find his feet. But anyways, just before we end, because it's already coming up to an hour, we've been going on for a while. Let's get into it, man. How is the game going to end? Firstly, I'm going to go with Ash. You tell me your prediction. What do you think the score's going to be, and ultimately, who you think is going to be the star player, the stand-up performance?
You know what? I think we're going to play well. I think we're going to cause them a lot of problems. And North London derby always throws up these type of hey, what's he doing? Man's trying to do the trust. I do the trust.
Okay, that's you already know that.
You know what? I'll be honest. I can see it. I can see us taking like a 2-0 lead, banging them up, and then some type of fuckery chance happens where some type of offside goal, they get it, or some type of dodgy set piece, and they don't deserve to get a point, but they somehow manage to do it, man. It always happens, bro. But my heart says, man, we're gonna punch them up. We're gonna get the W. Do you know what I'm saying?
What's score prediction?
But yeah, score prediction 2-2. No, 1-1. 1-1. Don't think it's gonna be as high as I actually thought.
You're predicting a draw.
I'm predicting a draw, bro.
All that base for a draw. Okay.
Because you, man, are so jammy. Like, you've been playing shit all season, but you still managed to get points, which is annoying. But yeah, I still think we'll get a point, which I'll take happily. Do you know what I mean?
But you take that happily.
I'll take it
happily. Okay.
Look, you chat to us, man. Chat to us. So obviously, we heard what Ash said. 1-1 draw. What are you saying? Are you taking the 3 points?
By the way, we call it 3-point lane. We're coming there. We're gonna get the W, and it's gonna make us have more wins against you at your new stadium than you have against us. Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna go one step further. We're keeping a clean sheet. You man are not scoring against us, and we are gonna be leaving with a 3-0 scoreline. And I'm hoping that I see all of you Tottenham, man, that have been on me all this week, are gonna be here on a Sunday evening, Monday morning. That is what I want from you, man. And the star performer in that game, is gonna be none other than my brother, Kai Havertz. Let's go, man. Let's go.
All right. Do you know what? I'm clipping that one up, so make sure you do not hide about clean sheet. Keeping a clean sheet against us. When was the last time you kept a clean sheet, let alone away from home? Don't lose yourself. The last time there was a clean sheet held at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it was us. And I remember beating you 3-0 to end your top 4 challenge. There's no way. But let's talk about my prediction for this game, because that's outlandish. He come out and said a clean sheet, I'm saying it straight up. 3-1 Spurs, similar to what Ash said. And how he started, anyway, it was going up, and then Ash just went, I don't know. No. I'm saying we're gonna take the 2-0 lead. I actually agree that I think we're gonna take it similar to what Arsenal got lucky on the other side last year. I think we're gonna take a nice and early 2-0 lead. Maybe going into the half time, we're gonna be up. And then Arsenal might come out and get us a goal, boost their confidence a little, and then we're just going to break their hearts in the transition. I think our standout performance is going to be the one and only Captain Man, Sonny, man. It always is. I've always got to look at him, especially when it's in these big games. There's only one big game player that I can always rely upon. Someone that's going to, in front of goal, turn it up. And especially against Arsenal, I think he's got about 6 or 7 goals in this North London derby at the moment, and he loves it. And do you know what I actually think? A penalty is going to come. I think we're going to get a penalty this time. We're old one, man, because time in and time out, there's always a penalty in this game. And Arsenal got lucky last year. We got one as well, but that was right at the end of the game. But in the first fixture, they got their one. So I'm saying we're going to get it early this game. Arsenal are going to mess up. We're going to catch them on the counter. And one of those fullbacks, leave that leg trailing. Odebert's going to win the penalty. So that's what I'm saying, man. 3-1 Spurs, stand up for my son. You heard it here, man. But before we wrap up, please, for everyone that is here and anyone that is watching on record or afterwards, pre-record, whatever it's called, man. You're watching it after we're live. Make sure you like up the thing. Leave some comments. I've put Ash's channel and Hooks' channel in the description already, so please make sure you head over to there, subscribe to their thing, and yeah, man. Love for you guys coming on. It's always a pleasure. We already know where it is. Hooks. Clean sheet talk. Hey, we're gonna. I'll see you Monday morning, regardless. Monday morning, 11:30. We're on together. There's no hiding. I don't hear no excuses about you not being there. So we're gonna be there. Never a foul settings. You already know what it is, and we're gonna have to talk. I'm rattled. He said clean sheet. We gotta end it there, man. Thank you, people, for joining, man. Love.
Big up.